Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. We made it through one whole week and we're ready to start week 2. You guys have this. I figured it'd be a little easier though for me to videotape myself reviewing things with you. I really want to try and go live, but I'm not sure how well that'll work out for all of us. My house is a little chaotic, especially during the times that we meet, but let's see what we can do, okay? What I want you to do though is really listen to me. I'm going over chapter 3 questions that you were supposed to go back and edit after I left you comments. Please, after I review these questions, make sure you go back and change your answers or fix them up a little bit if you had the wrong answers given, okay? All right, so let's go through these. Pay close attention to me. I'm gonna go through, there's 5 questions here. I'm gonna go through the 5 questions. When I'm done, your job for today before class is over is to go through the 5 questions and make them correct, okay? You can watch this video again if you're not sure. It's only gonna be a few minutes. Watch it again if you're not sure, if you misunderstood something, and then go back and change your work and resubmit it to me by the end of class today, okay? All right, so here it goes. Number 1 said, what was the last prank George played on Lenny? Why was it the last he'll ever play? So the last prank George played on Lenny, they told us this in chapter 3, okay? It's a new prank. He told Lenny to jump in when a bunch of guys were standing around, okay, at a lake. He told Lenny, just jump in, Lenny. And of course, Lenny took him seriously. So what did Lenny do? Lenny jumped in. However, he says he'll never play a trick like that on him ever again. The answer was why? Why will he never do this? Because he almost drowned. Lenny almost drowned because he listened to George and he jumped in the lake. Okay? So for number 1, the last prank George played on Lenny was he told him to jump in a lake and he almost drowned. All right? Number 2, what further details do we learn about the incident in Weed? How did we find this out? There's 2 parts there. What did we learn about Weed? So we know already. Some of you guys already wrote to me that he felt the girl's red dress. We already know that. We know he felt her dress, right? We learned about that in chapters 1 and 2. What else did we learn? What I wanted you guys to write for that was that Lenny held on to the dress so much, the girl wound up yelling really loud, okay? And then what did she wind up doing? She actually wound up going to the police and telling them that Lenny raped her. All right, so now all the men from the town were trying to find Lenny and lynch him. All right, that is what I was looking for. So we know he felt the girl's red dress. Lenny held on though until she yelled really, really loud, then he ran away. But the girl went to the police and she told the police that she was raped. So now the townspeople, all the men in town, are trying to find Lenny and hurt him, or kill him, I should say. All right? So that's what we're really looking for. And now, how did we find this out? How do we know this? We know this because George was telling the story to Slim. Remember, everyone trusts Slim on the ranch? So George was telling the Slim the story. All right, that's the second part. 3, where does Lenny get the pup? We know Lenny gets the pup because one of Slim's dogs had puppies, right? So Lenny gets the pup from Slim. This second part to number 3, how does George know that Lenny has brought the pup into the bunkhouse? We know Lenny, right? Lenny doesn't really hide things easily, and Lenny comes in with a coat over his shoulders like a cape and goes right to his bed and he hides. So George knows that Lenny is up to no good. All right, and last, why doesn't he let the puppy stay? This puppy was just born last night and he has to go back and stay with his mom. So that's why he was sent back, because the puppy needs to sleep and spend the night with his mother. Good? All right, hopefully you guys understand that. Why do you think Candy allowed Carlson to kill his dog? Now, this is opinion, but I just want you to understand. I want you to kind of think about it. Candy, right? His dog was very old. He's very sick, but it's all he had. Why do you think he would let Carlson kill him? All right, what I'm looking for there is because mostly it was Slim. Slim said the dog is suffering too. And since Slim said the dog is really suffering, he's old, it might be a good idea. I really think personally that Candy allowed Carlson to kill his dog because Slim said he is suffering. You really don't want this poor dog to suffer. Why don't you put him out of his misery? Why don't you let him be happy and not suffer any longer? Okay? That's what I would say. That's my opinion on that one. Candy allowed Carlson to kill his dog because he told him he is very old and he's suffering, and maybe that'll be the best solution for it. And the last question. How does Lenny end up hurting Curly? What did Lenny do? Lenny grabs Curly's closed fist, grabs it with his big hand. Does he let go? Absolutely not. We know once Lenny grabs something, he gets very nervous. He doesn't know what to do. He clenches on and he does not let go, no matter what. Blood, finally, you just see blood running down Curly's hand. So Lenny basically destroyed Curly's entire hand. Okay? George told him to get him though, so he followed George's advice. He didn't do anything until George kept telling him finally get him. Was that the best advice? I don't really think so. That's my opinion. Right? So the second part was George giving good advice when he told him to fight back? I'm not so sure. But like I said, Curly did deserve it. But now what might happen because he did this? Is Curly's wife to blame for the fight? Do you think Curly's wife's to blame? That's for you guys to decide. Last thing I wanted you to do was just predict. Will Curly get revenge? Have to wait and see. Will Lenny take good care of this puppy? So Lenny has his puppy. What do we think? Is he going to take good care of them? We shall see. All right, guys. So what I want you to do is to go back over those questions. I just talked about them. Fix them up. Okay? You have some correct, some incorrect. I want you to go back and look at what I wrote. Okay? I sent them back and resubmit it to me. I gave you a grade, but I'd really like to see a little better grades. Okay? I know you guys can do it. I need you to take your time. I need you to listen to the stories if I give them to you and answer the questions the best that you can. I know it's a little different than being in class, but I know you guys can do it. You're awesome. You're doing a great job so far. Keep it up. All right? Hope you and your families are home, healthy, and safe. Email me with any questions.